Hello and welcome to the Examiner's Report for Pre-Tutorial 2. Here I will tell you what you are doing right and not so right for the pre-tutorial, and I believe that this will help you for group project checkpoint 2 as well, because you need to do modeling for the checkpoint 2 as well. So now, what do we have? The scenario that you're given for this pre-tutorial question is that you have to categorize a set of films for the company Netflix, the floppiest competitor to Netflix. Okay, so we give you a data set, alright? You have a bunch of films, Pokemon, Gataka, whatever, Totoro and all that, and we give you some information like there's lasers, got advanced technology, and you're supposed to categorize them into sci-fi, fantasy, or horror. Now, there are two ways to do this problem, okay? One is you come up with your own definition for what is sci-fi, for what is fantasy, and for what is horror, right? And then, based on these definitions, you start to classify the films, okay? The other way is what is called the data-driven approach. What's the data-driven approach? That means you analyze the data set and you see which ones fit the which criteria will give you that near perfect fit, okay? So like for example, you do a filter and then you say, oh, actually all my sci-fi films have magic, lasers, machines, or whatever it might be, right? So then this is called a data-driven approach. Now, both of them have their merits and demerits. If you just set up conditions, okay, then what is the problem? It is prone to, because when you set out the conditions yourself, you are relying on a lot of proxy measures, a lot of your preconceived notions and biases. So if anything gets wrongly classified, it's because of your own inherent assumptions, presumptions about the world and about movies. Does this mean the data-driven approach is better? No, not really, okay? I mean, if you read all the stuff about data science, people will tell you, oh, it's better, it's very accurate. Not true, not true. Why? Because data-driven approach, well, it is very good for the current data set, or might be good for the current data set. It is problematic when we begin to use another data set, like maybe we have new films to categorize. Why? Because the data-driven approach is based on one particular set of data, right? You investigate, you study one set of data, and then you create a model based on it. What this means is that it cannot preempt future scenarios. Now, this is also a very important lesson about machine learning. Machine learning is only good for predicting what it knows, what it has already observed, what it has already seen. So machine learning cannot accurately forecast what will happen in the future. If it does this kind of prediction, it is based on the condition, on the assumption that things will continue to be the same. Now, just to expand your knowledge, have you heard people complaining, I hate Spotify, Spotify keeps recommending more of the same. In fact, YouTube and Netflix, the more you watch a certain kind of show, the more they show you more of the same. For example, I've been watching a lot of anime on Netflix, so Netflix keeps showing me nothing but anime. So machine learning can only tell you, classify based on what it has seen. So it has seen that I've been watching all this kind of show, so it thinks I want to watch more of it. Yeah, maybe, but after a while you get bored of it, right? So this is one of the problems that we need to be very painfully aware of. Both have their pros and cons. If you use your own definitions, it can catch things that your data set might not have for now, but may have in the future. Okay? So all that said, this is really more an exercise for you to play with Excel, play with the if statements and all that, but to make you very, very painfully aware of how there are flaws in the models that we create. Okay, so I've talked enough about models and conditionals already, because we've already covered this in tutorial and the post-tutorial wrap-up. So let me just move on to talk about the pre-tutorial. Why some students did better, why some students didn't do so well. Okay, so first and foremost, we had a sizable number of students who did not read the learning objectives, the intended learning outcomes. So you miss the point of the exercise by whatever your answer is, okay? Then we also have students who did manual classification. The whole point was for you to do Excel, to come up with the pseudocode, and then you let your algorithm, your conditional, do the classification. If you're going to do manual classification, then you miss the point of the exercise, right? As long as you did a conditional, you did the pseudocode, you did the Excel, we gave you the marks for those already. Okay, so let's talk about question 2, because question 2 is really where we differentiate which students did better and which students didn't do so well. So question 2 is asking, let's review. Based on the model that you created, did anything go wrong? Are there films that you find difficulty categorizing? Are there films that ought to be in one genre but end up unexpectedly in another? Why were those films so problematic? And what could you have done with the limited information at your disposal? So most of you talk about the data set. The data set is so abstract, right? Whether it's a scary ghost or friendly ghost, we just lump it into ghosts. Whether it is what kind of machines are we talking about? What kind of technology are we talking about, right? Or some students had more nuance in the analysis. They say, some movies that are machines, but what makes it sci-fi is that it becomes a focal point. Okay, so that's a step up, right? So these are things that we were looking out for. But let me show you some model answers. These answers were provided by students who got the 10 upon 10. Yay, full marks. So if you see your paper here, congratulations. Okay, so here we have this student who says that who recognizes there's a huge degree of subjectivity and variance inbuilt in the manner in which individuals associate certain characteristics with a genre. Okay, so subjectivity involved in choosing certain characteristics to define the genre, coupled with the fact that most, if not all, movies embody characteristics that intersect and overlap, problematizes the process of categorization. Yeah, it's true, we actually intentionally got some films that have this kind of overlap to get you thinking, to realize the problems. In fact, even things like the definition of science fiction, fantasy, or even horror, right? The definitions are not clear-cut. So there are debates, ongoing debates by people, okay, about what constitutes sci-fi. Isn't it interesting, in this world, we think, when we talk about sci-fi, like, we know what it is, but then when we're forced to come up with a definition, like what you did, and then you realize it actually got a bit of problem. I realized I suddenly don't know what sci-fi means. I suddenly don't know what fantasy means. Where students really stand out and get more marks is when they recognize their flaws or problems in the algorithm or certain merits in it. So this student did an analysis of his own algorithm. Upon closer inspection, I found 2 loopholes in the algorithm that enabled Pokemon to be classified as horror. Now, many students didn't do so well because they just say, oh, okay, these movies are done horror. They're wrongly classified. But then there is zero awareness of why the movie ended up in that classification. So at least if you are able to look at this end result and then you work backwards and say, it's because it went through this condition, then this condition, then this condition. That's why it's like that. This shows that you have a heightened awareness and understanding of the algorithm and how it works. If you didn't talk about these kind of things, that means it shows that you still are not aware, not woke enough of how your algorithm works. In fact, this student goes further some more. First, I assume fantasy movies would have definitely contained magic elements, whereas Pokemon returns a no for magic. Second, the or-and conditional, which was meant to read out Edward Scissorhands and Gattaca, which did not have large-scale beasts and machines, or machines and talking creatures. The problem here is that Pokemon has all 3. Okay, large-scale beasts, machines and talking creatures, which allow it to fulfill the or-and conditional and be classified as a horror movie. You see, able to diagnose what is wrong. And in fact, now as I'm recording this video, many of you are doing pre-tutorial 4, right? Pre-tutorial 4, you have all your if. If you are able to do this kind of diagnosis, you can trace the problem. Where did I have a flaw in my logic, or where did I have a typo in my if statement? In fact, this is a very good skill that we want to encourage and imbue in you. Why? Because next time when you go out to work, or if you are a victim of the system, if you are a victim of the system, you can slowly reverse engineer. You can read up more about the policies, the conditionals, and then you work backwards. Why am I a victim of the system? I'm a victim of this system because work backwards. This condition, and because I possess A, B, C, like that. If you are expected to be in were an issue, being left open to interpretation, my personal definition of which conditions satisfy which categories could differ from another person. I had to perform this exercise using assumptions and personal opinions. Now, some students did not even have this realization. They just assert, sci-fi must have this, fantasy must have this. Then you do this, there is a lack of awareness that you are actually imposing your assumptions, your preconceived notions onto the data. Well, okay, so I've done enough talking. So I hope this has been very insightful. It's a short video because I also don't want to keep this video too long. So all the best for all your other assignments and for the rest of the semester. And well, I'll see you around campus. Bye!